Hello face painters, Maria Mitchell here bringing you another face painting tutorial. Today we're going to learn step by step on how to face paint this Christmas reindeer face painting design. I've seen this online a few times and I've been super inspired by it. So I decided to do a tutorial and to show you how I paint a reindeer of this kind. It's nice and compact, so you're not painting the full face. You're basically just doing this area here. It's a super popular one for girls and boys. I've put some glitter through it. You don't have to. Obviously, boys aren't a big fan of the whole glitter, which is fine. I just think it makes it pop. You can use any color you like. I've used a split cake, which uses the the browns that a reindeer has, but you can use greys, you can use pinks, you can use any of those colors. World's your oyster with this one as well. You can really mix it up. So get your face paints out and your brushes and let's get started. Okay, let's get going. So I've loaded up a half circle sponge, face painting sponge, and I've loaded it up with some fusion white. And what I want to do is I want to do the inner of the eyes of the reindeer. So how I'm going to start is I'm going to start right at the corner of my eye here, and I'm going to go diagonally up. So I'm going to sort of paint past where the eyebrow is. And I'm going to sort of have a little a hook here. So I want the bottoms of my eyes to be white. So I normally get the child to look up or the person to look up, and then you're able to access the bottom of their eyes. So just like that, nice and rough. You don't want it too precise because we are going to go over it with some line work. All right, so as you can see, I've got that inner part done. Now I'll repeat the same. So in the inner of the eye. Now I've run out of paint on the corner of my sponge, so I'll just load that up. So up, 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 past the eyebrow. And I'll use this edge to do the bottom. Doesn't have to be completely precise down the bottom because we are going to go over it with the brown. All right, so I've just loaded up my sponge again. And the secret to this is obviously bringing up the eyebrow. So we're going to go over the eyebrow there and make all of that white, just like we've done on this side. Doesn't have to be perfect, like I've mentioned before. It can be rough. So, because we are going to go over it with line work, so it's all good in the hood. All right, so there we go. All right, so as well, we're going to also do the nose, the tip of the nose. We're doing in white. If you ever get paint on areas that you don't want, baby wipe is great. Just on top here where the reindeer's ears will be, I just want to do a dab like that, and on the other side, just at the edge. Just like that. Now I've picked up some teddy bear by Tag. This is a split cake. It's really great for doing dogs, etc. I've picked up a good amount of it on my 1/2 inch flat angled brush. So I'm going to start with the dark end facing up. I'm going to start right here where the nose, where the sort of, that part of the nose is. I'm not quite sure what it's called. If you know, leave a comment down below. So I'm going to start off there and I'm going to bring it up in like a curb, curbing it up and then curbing it out and then coming up, stopping at the side of the cheek. I'm going to do exactly the same here. So I'm going to start here, go up, curb around, and then on an angle curbing up. Now for the ears, I want to start down here, just a bit above where the white area is, and I'm just going to have the darker side painting, where the dark side of the brown paint is on the tip of the brush that's facing the inner of the face, and I'm just going to flare it up like that and up in a little curb. The same on this side, like that, around and curve it up. I'll just go through that again just to get some more. I've just picked up some more brown just to give it more colour. Wasn't much colour loaded on my brush. All right. Now what I've done, I've picked up some dark brown on one side. This is a new sponge, half circle sponge, some dark brown, and I'm going to get some skin colour, just like a little pale, which matches the teddy bear split cake. They're just tag colours that you can find online. So I'm going to start with the darker brown, and I'm going to start just at where the white ends there, and I'm going to just flick it up with the sponge. Flick it up, up, up. You want to make that area quite thick. So up. Then we're going to cover this area right here, just around the white, curving it around and then coming toward the ear. Like that. Just like that. And now I'm going to turn it around, and I want to do a little sort of arch right in the middle. So I'm basically making a little gradient of making it go from brown to dark to light brown. Okay, and I'm going to use that light as well just to soften up the edge of the brown down here. I also want to fill in this area here and this area here. Okay, so I've loaded my number 4 round brush with some black. Nicely loaded. I'm going to start right here at the corner, and I'm going to go from tip, don't know if you can see, and bring the line work up. And do a big sort of arch. So to go over the eyebrow, you wiggle your brush, okay, to get through in between all the hairs there. All right, so that's done. Now on the other side, do the same. Up, wiggle, wiggle. And see, like just an arch. So I'll just wiggle past the eyebrows. Now I just want to continue the outline to go to the edge there. And the same for the other side. I'm going to go around now and just do a little triangle, rectangle-y triangle, and like a muzzle. Leave a little white area there so it looks as though it's shiny. Now I've picked up some of that brown again. I want to do his antlers up the top. So to do those, I am going to start off down the bottom here, right at the base, and I'm going to bring it up, and then another one up, just like that. Filbert brushes are great because they give you that rounded edge, which is fantastic. So, and then from the side, up, and then curving it up. Let's get some flyaway hairs there. And then again, to give it more space, I'm going to make this one a little bit taller. And then one antler there. And the other one there. There we go. With the black loaded, I want to outline and do the ears. So I'm going to outline the top first in little fur-like strokes. So very small. Make it look like they're furry little strokes. Now along here, I'm going to bring it in and then make it look as though it's a little like a little lick, a little cow lick hair, by doing a stroke up again, and then another one again. We'll highlight that in a minute. And now just going to bring it up, outline the antlers just by doing single strokes around it. Because it's dark, you don't really need to outline every single edge of these. And because they're quite dark, we do want to do some highlights inside. Yep, so stroke out and stroke coming down, stroke to the sides, up and around. Now for the ears, what we want to do is I'm going to create the illusion that there's a fold for the ears. So I'm going to bring it in through to here. I'm going to put a stroke down, as you can see, and then I'm going to go in and then out and curve it around to the tip of the ear. Okay, that gives it a good ear look. So then at the edge of it, I just want to do some feather type of furry type like strokes very lightly against that white and shade that part of the ear there, as you can see, and that way it looks as though that's the hair from the inside of the ear. Again on the other side, around tip to the tip, and then bringing it in, bringing it in and around to meet that tip there, and then putting in all the fur around the sides and the fur on the inner of the ear. Just gives it that little bit of a 3D effect. Now, I want to give this reindeer some lovely long eyelashes. So from here, just ask the child to close their eyes. You can do a long line coming up and another one coming up, and again up, and another one, flick it right up. Ask them to open their eyes, and then you can see where you can do the other flicks of the eyelashes, because that's where you can see them coming up. Now along the bottom here, I just want to gently do those nice little furry strokes. And now you don't want your brush to be heavily loaded while you're doing these, because it's basically like an outline. You're doing some nice fur around. And again, on this side, just some fur, some real rough strokes along the side, just to make it look as though he's a furry edge on this furry little reindeer. Do some flicks while your brush is still loaded, some flicks up. Now from teddy bear, I just want to pick up some of that lighter brown, roughly picking it up, so we're not picking up way too much paint with this. We're going to dab some on our wrist and just check it, because this is going to be some highlights, so you don't want it heavily loaded. So what I'm going to do is bring brush stroke up from here, and another one along here, and then I'm going to do another brush stroke here. See how it's quite, it's not as noticeable and strong as if it was heavily loaded with that paint. So yep, give it dimension, bringing it down. All right, so I need to put some spots on this beautiful reindeer. So with that same brush, I'm going to heavily load some white. One here, I'm going to do one that's like an oval. Because it's heavily loaded, we are able to take a lot off our brush. And I'm going to do a bigger one along here, another bigger one here, and then I'm going to do some small ones. Whenever doing a series of animal spots like this, it's always a good idea to start off with the big ones and then dress it up around the big dots with the smaller ones. Reason why you need your brush heavily loaded is because we're going over a darker colour, so it's harder to get that vibrancy, that real white, right, from your paint, from your white being going over, say, a darker colour that has high pigment, which say a blue or a green or a red. Now while I still have that loaded, I just want to do some outlines below here, below the main look. So then underneath here and along where the ears are, I'm just going to do a line just under the black, just to highlight it a bit. Another one here. Nice and thin, just a little teardrop going upwards. That just gives it some more dimension. All right, so last but not least, we're going to puff this up with glitter. So I'm just using some glitter gel, which is super easy to get online. You can always find these online. And I'm just going to dab it all throughout. So it's along here, along the top, just to make it sparkle. And up here, around the spots. You can always apply glitter with a brush if you feel comfortable. When the paint's wet, it's always a good opportunity to use the dry glitter that you puff on, or dab it. If you've got dry glitter, dab it onto the wet paint. That's always effective. But yeah, the glitter jar just makes this design pop, and it just gives it a really lovely feel to it. So I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope that you've really taken any techniques in from this tutorial. You can obviously make this any color you like. So I've used Tag's teddy bear. You could use, you could make it a pink one. You can give him a Rudolph red nose. You can do any of that. So it's the ball's on your court, depending on what the child likes or the adult that you're painting likes. So Merry Christmas, everyone. Hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and comment down below if you need any questions answered about anything relating to face painting, and I'll do my best to answer you. Until next time, happy painting.